D-Lo 404 Boxing. Alright, y'all, I want to double down on what I said in my last video about basically making these statements as if they're factual about how these fights are going to play out and what one fighter is going to do to the other. You know, maybe there were some things lost on what I was trying to say or convey at the moment, but let me try to reiterate a little bit better. Okay, so we have guys in the sport of boxing, you know, who they give it their all, they dedicate themselves wholeheartedly to the sport, they show up on fight night and they give it their best effort. And they have a guy across the ring who presumably did the same thing. During a fight camp, during the times leading up to the fight camp, these guys have a life to live. They have people they care about. They have people who get ill. They may get sick themselves. They may have something going on with a family member or whatever the case may be. And all of that baggage that goes on carries over with them. They're not superhuman to the point that they can just block out everything going on in their lives and go into a camp and just forget it all and then say we'll get back to it after camp or after my fight. So, and I'm saying that to say this. Every time a fighter steps into the ring, he is a different fighter than he was the fight before. And it is not all about emotional and mental aspect. It's sometimes it's about physical stuff. Sometimes it's ailments. Sometimes the camp just didn't go as well as they thought it would go. Sometimes, you know, they may have some nagging injury right at the tail end of training camp, and it's too close to the fight to call it off, and you know they just try to fight their way through it. So I don't like to put too much stock into what I see from a guy in one fight to the point that I just basically just make my mind up that, oh, okay, well, if this is what this guy is at this point, then there's no way that he's going to get by this guy, or there's no way that he matches up well with that guy. Because on the flip side, everything I just said about that fighter would apply to these other fighters that they're potentially going to fight. You know, I've said this once before, and I equate it to a football team. You know, on any given Saturday, a college football team could look completely unbeatable against another really good team. They go out the next Saturday against a team that they're heavily favored to beat, and that they don't look like the same team. The execution's off. You know, the quarterback may be going through some situation where he think he may have a kid on the way by some girl that he really had no intentions of having any kind of long-term relationship with. And he's waiting to hear back from her that everything's good. She's not pregnant. You know, you just never know what is going on with people. And sometimes it's just a matter of X's and O's. It's about execution. Boxing is not undifferent from that. You know, this guy could go into a fight and he's the heavy favorite. He is supposed to go out there and put on a showcase, but the other guy, for whatever reason, has figured out some things that he thinks will work, and he goes in there and he and his team employs those strategies and they work out beautifully. Whether he wins or loses, the fight does not play out as us fans expect it to play out. And that can happen on any given night in the sport of boxing. That's why people making statements like, oh, I know he can't beat this person, or this person knocks this person out for sure, or if he got dropped by such and such, there's no way in the hell he could get through a fight with this person. You know, all of that stuff, it sounds good, and it does seem like, okay, well, you provided case in points and supporting situations and leading indicators as to why that should be the case. But at the end of the day, in the sport of boxing, you can never unequivocally say for sure that this is how something will play out. And that's all I was trying to say. And like I said about the other situation, I get tired of hearing from these people, these talking heads on the telecast and things like that, talking about these guys nobody can beat these guys. You know, oh, he's on a 10-fight win streak. Nobody can beat him. He's so much better than he was 2 years ago. nobody can beat him, this, that, and the other. And I can't. I don't understand where they pulled this from, and I think maybe it's just selling the fighter, selling the fight, selling the events. But to me, it just sounds crazy when I hear these people get on TV and say things like there's nobody in the sport of boxing that can beat this guy. And things like that. And that's what I was trying to say. That's all I got to say on the subject. D-Lo 404 Boxing. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.